Son of Mine is the new single from the just-released Genesis album, We Can't Dance. The group, which started in 1966 with a few school friends, has evolved into a world-renowned band. They have recorded many top albums, including And Then There Were Three, Genesis, and Invisible Touch. And they're hoping that their current album will produce the same result. I'd like to please welcome Mr. Tony Banks, Phil Collins, and Mike Rutherford, otherwise known as Genesis. I was trying to count up all the albums. Am I right in saying there are 17 since 1969?
Well...
16. It's around there.
No, 17 is what it says in the biography, and they're never wrong. No, but that includes live albums and things like that, and so it depends on whether you want to believe it. If you want to make it sound younger, then you can say 15, 14. If you want to make it sound older, you can include them all, bootlegs and all, and call it about 50, probably.
Okay, so this is your first album. How do you feel about that? There you go. I was trying to find a word to describe the lyrics, and I was reading the lyrics over and listening to the CD this morning, and there is... And I don't know if sad is the right word, maybe poignant, but it's a view of the world and a lot of the things that probably aren't quite right with the world. Am I close?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people have pointed this out. I mean, I think at the time, I certainly didn't dawn on me, I don't think any of us, that we were, you know, that it was the overall feel when you put all the songs together, and some people tend to sort of, to look at lyrics probably a little bit more in depth than maybe even we do, and we wrote the thing. So there is an overall sadness to the album, I guess a reflective sort of feel to the thing. There's a lot of humour on the album, which I don't think we should forget about either. I mean, Jesus, He Knows Me, and Living Forever.
Right.
And I Can't Dance. I mean, they're three kind of sort of satirical songs, really.
My son, who is 11, and I were watching the video the other day, and he turned to me and he said, "Gee, Mom, do you think one of them had this kind of childhood?" And I said, "Gee, I don't know, Nick, I'll ask. Does it come from experience, No Son of Mine?"
No, it doesn't come from any individual experience in the group. I mean, I think in recent years in England, there's been a lot of publicity given to various kind of cases involving child abuse and things, and this is really what I think the song is a kind of a version of all these things put into the same song, if you like. It's a sort of like a test case, if you want. And it deals with, obviously, with the sort of violence in the home and a boy leaving and trying to return. But I don't think any of us had that kind of home life. Fortunately, I'm very glad to say it wasn't like that for any of us. In my own case, I had a very happy childhood.
A lot of people always ask the question, which is, gee, these guys go off and they do so well and they keep going back together, but I think it must be so creatively inspiring for three talented people who trust each other, isn't an ego problem, to come together with no music and suddenly be creative. It must be very exciting for you when you actually do get back together.
It is. You're quite
right. Thank you. I have another question then.
I'll start while I'm ahead. No, it is. It's I mean, the whole thing about Genesis is that I think that the solo stuff's given us a good chance to take a break from each other. So when you restart a project with Genesis and write a new album, you look forward to it. And the way we write, just writing the music in the studio from scratch, is very different to how we work on our own. So it makes the project seem different automatically as soon as you start. And the writing process on this album was it happened very easily. I mean, it was an exciting time. We spent 2 months writing it, and ideas came out very fast. For me, I find that's the most creative time, really, the compositional side. And yeah, I mean, I think it's basically why we still do it. We get together and start writing an album, and it excites us.
Now, I know, Mike, that it was after you did... now, relax.
Sorry.
That's all right. No. When you had planned this album after your 1987 tour, I mean, you penned in, let's get together, you know, 1990 and do another one. Well, you're a bit late. You've done another one, though. Have you penned in the next one? Is it like 1995? Or every 4 years, the boys get together and have a few cool ones and make an album?
No, it's not quite as... I mean, we haven't really got as far as talking about the next one. I think we enjoyed doing it so much that we will make another one, you know.
Right.
It's kind of weird to talk about it like that because, I mean, we are a group, and of course the natural thing is, of course, we do another one, you know. But I mean, it's because there was such a long time that between the last one and this, that I guess people sort of are asking whether it will be another 5 years between this and the next, and we really don't know. I doubt if it will be that long. It wasn't meant to be 5 years in the first place, but you know, it's looking good for another one because we all enjoyed this one so much, and that's the only yardstick we have, really.
You gentlemen there's a new precedent happening in music. Good music doesn't end. I mean, the creative ability of people doesn't suddenly stop when you get to be age 20 or 30 or whatever. There used to be in music that you got too old, right? But now there's a whole new thing happening, and that is that good music...
With old people.
Right, and we are your biggest fans, us old folks. No, but it's a different approach to music now. The good music and good things will just go on forever, and there is an expectation that you, the three of you, will go on forever as Genesis.
Well, I don't know if they'll go on forever.
Well,
I think like that. I think it depends. It all depends on which part of music you listen to. In the past, I mean, you know, maybe the performers kind of perhaps stayed younger, but people writing, the people producing, the people behind the scenes were often getting older. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people I have a lot of time for who you know, who've been. I mean, like Burt Bacharach, for example, was still writing. Well, still does, I think. I was writing great songs, you know, when he was getting certainly older than the people he was writing the songs for. I mean, I've always considered the song to be the most important part, I think, the writing of it and everything. And so that side of it, I don't think much has changed. It's just that the whole nature of a group is that it contains within it not just the performers, it also contains the writers and to some extent the producers and things as well. So you're all in one group. So you have to get older in order to keep, I mean, you have to, in order to keep going, you know.
Just one last question here. I'm not sure what...
Makes sense at all. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. I absolutely understood every word.
Good, great.
You have a 1992 concert tour planned for Genesis, gentlemen?
Yep.
Is this a world tour? Or is it...
It's basically going to be North America.
Right.
Mainly Toronto's dates and and a bit of Europe.
And a bit, okay.
Had enough time in Toronto. Are you in Toronto?
Oh, my goodness, you must be psychic. That's amazing, Mike.
We're doing 6 weeks in America and Canada, and then 6 weeks in Europe. So we're not going to Australia and Japan. Okay. So it won't be a world tour in the traditional sense, because we don't really want to go on the road forever like we did with Invisible Touch. We want to do it. Want to do it while we're young.
Gentlemen, I know that you consider this to be some of your best work, and I think most of your fans, including myself, do. It really is an exceptionally wonderful album. I thank you for it, and when you're in Toronto, we look forward to seeing you. Ta-ta for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll take a break. We're back with more after this.